Hello, in this film I'm going to introduce you to a new approach to religious education in primary schools. It's called the researcher's approach. The researcher's approach encourages pupils to think about the significance and effectiveness of different methodologies and methods of inquiry in RE. To make research methodologies accessible to young children, we have personified them as cartoon characters. Individually, they're called Debate It All Derek, Ask It All Ava, Have a Go Hugo, and See the Story Susie. But collectively, they're known as the researchers. Each character holds different assumptions about religions and advocates different research methods. For example, questioning and arguing, interviewing and empathizing, participating and experiencing, and narrating and exploring interpretations. Like the methodologies they represent, each character's approach to studying religions has different strengths and weaknesses. Here is Ask It All Ava. Her key characteristics are interviewing and empathizing. She aims to understand herself and others. She values empathizing, recognizing differences, recognizing personal meaning, accurately representing religions, and knowing people's religious backgrounds. Here is Debate It All Derek. His key characteristics are that he critically examines truth claims and the justifications for them. His aim is to search for truth. He values seeking true answers to big questions, being ethical, providing evidence, and being logical. Here is Have a Go Hugo. His key characteristics are participating in and experiencing religious practices and activities. He aims to understand religious feelings, emotions, and experiences by practicing aspects of the faith like an insider. He values having an open mind, things we can sense but can't touch or explain, and emotions, feelings, and experiences as ways of knowing. Here is See the Story Susie. Her key characteristics are being a narrator and interpretation explorer. She aims to understand how stories, memories, histories and traditions shape our identities, understandings and actions. She values self-knowledge, knowledge of stories, knowledge of how stories are understood and presented, knowledge of which stories are significant and why, and knowledge of what shapes people's lives. Once acquainted with our characters and their respective characteristics as researchers, pupils can metaphorically call upon them or assume their identities in pursuit of different understandings of religions. This means undertaking activities and manifesting the research preferences, values, and aims that are associated with each of the characters. The characters we've developed so far are indicative rather than comprehensive. We would welcome the creation of many more, rooted in the interpretations, methodologies, and methods deployed in theological and religious studies, and to cohere with the knowledge, skills, and experiences of teachers and pupils. The researcher's approach is one example of a broader pedagogy of RE that we're developing at the University of Exeter. This pedagogy is being designed primarily with a view to implementation in multi-faith RE in schools without a religious affiliation, but it can be applied in the context of many different forms of RE, mono or multi-faith, and many different types of school, those with and without a religious affiliation. The range of teachers and schools who have already shown an interest in our approach evidences this versatility. Our pedagogy is critical, dialogic, and enquiry-based, It seeks to move beyond old-style paradigm wars in which different pedagogies are seen to be in competition with one another. Instead, it promotes the use of multiple perspectives, multiple theories, and multiple methodologies and methods in teaching and learning in RE. Thereby, the RE curriculum is characterised as a bricolage, and teachers and pupils are characterised as bricoleurs, utilising a range of tools and materials to develop knowledge and understanding of religions. Our developing pedagogy is built on the following foundations. Religions are complex, diverse, multifaceted, evolving and multidimensional phenomena, including, for example, doctrines, laws, literatures, languages, narratives, traditions, histories, institutions, communities, people, places, practices, buildings, and artifacts. There are multiple methodologies and methods for generating knowledge and understanding of religions, drawn from a plurality of disciplinary perspectives. For example, theological, philosophical, historical, archaeological, linguistic, literary, psychological, sociological, cultural, and anthropological. But there is no neutral vantage point from which to explore religions. A multi-perspectival, multi-methodological, and multi-method pedagogy avoids promoting certain approaches and understandings of religions over others. If only one approach to or understanding of religions is adopted, then pupils are not given the freedom to see religions from alternative viewpoints. A critical pedagogy exposes the assumptions underlying the interpretations, methodologies, and methods encountered in RE, and enables pupils to become autonomous and self-regulating learners. So we suggest that RE should provide opportunities for open-ended, shared inquiries in which pupils can learn about, implement, and evaluate multiple methodologies and methods as they co-construct knowledge in collaboration with the teacher and their peers. It should enable teachers and pupils to look both through and at different interpretive lenses. It should draw pupils into dialogues about methodological and hermeneutical issues, and in so doing, learn to listen to others and see through their eyes so that they may ask different questions and encounter different answers. And it should give opportunity for pupils to reflect on their own dispositions and worldviews and how these affect and are affected by their learning. Navigating the religious jungle using the researcher's approach requires teachers to think about route maps, modes of transport and equipment, the methods, as much as to think about the ground to be covered, the contents, and the selected destination, the aims. It should treat pupils as co-travellers rather than followers. Enable these intrepid explorers to develop their own understandings of what they encounter. It should allow them to write their own travel diaries, not merely read the guidebooks of others. And it should equip them with what they'll need in order to undertake subsequent learning journeys into unfamiliar religious terrains on their own. In short, using the researcher's approach can help with learning about religions and learning how to learn about religions by creating a balance between subject content and issues of representation, i.e. what is being learnt about and why, learning processes and research methods, i.e. how it is being learnt about and why, personal evaluation and self-reflection, i.e. who is the learner and why this matters. To reflect the rebalancing of the aims, methods and content of RE, which is demanded by our approach, a new assessment framework is required. This must take into account how well pupils represent religions, how well pupils research religions, and how well pupils reflect on their own worldviews in relation to their research. There are three areas of assessment: represent, research, and reflect. Representation of religions is concerned with pupils demonstrating factual and conceptual knowledge and understanding of religions. Research is concerned with pupils demonstrating knowledge of the interpretations, methodologies, and methods used in the study of religions, and demonstrating the ability to plan, carry out, and evaluate an inquiry to study religions. Reflect is concerned with pupils demonstrating knowledge of their own worldviews and of how these influence and are influenced by their learning about religions. Underpinning all of these elements are the language, literacy, and communication skills, such as reading, writing, listening, and speaking, that enable pupils to record, recount, and respond to what they're learning in RE. In order to implement the researcher's approach in such a way as to cohere faithfully with our theoretical foundations, RE lessons must provide high quality and first-hand experience of what it means to study religions. Require pupils to be joint researchers, working alongside teachers to investigate and discuss the effectiveness of different perspectives, methodologies, and methods. Ensure that through open-ended, shared inquiry, pupils acquire the knowledge and skills associated with the communities of academic practice concerned with theological and religious studies. Work towards pupils being able independently to plan, manage, and evaluate their own research. And give pupils an opportunity to reflect on their own worldviews and how these affect and are affected by their learning. Thus, a key feature of the researcher's approach is its endorsement of inquiry-based teaching and learning. In practice, this means making decisions about the extent to which RE lessons should focus on knowledge and skills to be taught by the teacher, or practical, participative, and interactive learning by the pupils, as well as thinking about the extent to which they should focus on the products of research or the processes of research. Different teachers will emphasize different elements. The researcher's approach incorporates elements of each dimension. In doing so, we advocate an inquiry cycle consisting of some or all of the following research phases. First, we advocate using existing knowledge to identify a problem or issue relating to a given topic and to stimulate pupils' curiosity. In doing so, pupils learn about, discuss, and engage critically with their own and other researchers' representations of religions. For example, those of teachers, textbook writers, website developers, and television script writers. Second, we suggest giving pupils an opportunity to reflect on the chosen topic and encouraging them to ask questions. In doing so, pupils are given an opportunity to consider what they think about the topic. They're encouraged to be reflexive about their own worldview and how it might influence or be influenced by their learning. Third, it is necessary to select a research question and plan the inquiry. Teachers and/or pupils may choose one or more research questions and select an appropriate research methodology and method by which to undertake the inquiry. They learn about the methodology and method and develop the relevant skills and techniques. Fourth, the research plan needs to be implemented. To undertake the inquiry, pupils show competence in applying the selected research methodology and method and gathering the relevant data where required. Fifth, the findings and results need to be analysed and discussed. In doing so, pupils need to make sense of and make meaning from the findings and results. Sixth, in conclusion, pupils should be asked to present answers to the research questions. They're given an opportunity to evaluate the methodology or method used in the inquiry and to discuss its strengths and weaknesses. They're asked to be reflexive about their worldviews and the impact their worldviews had on their learning and the impact their learning had on their worldviews. Finally, they're asked to discuss what further research is required and what new problems and issues have arisen. Finally, at the end of the inquiry cycle, new problems or issues relating to the given topic are identified, and so, if you want, the process can start again, with pupils finding out about, discussing, and engaging critically with what is already known about the new problem or issue. That brings us to the end of the film. I hope it's provided you with a satisfactory introduction to the researcher's approach and that it's provoked your interest. If you're willing and able to try some or all of the ideas in your classroom, then we'd be delighted to hear from you. The approach is still in development, and so we'd be grateful for all feedback, positive or negative. Thank you for watching.